Selamat petang, selamat sejahtera. Tacha hao. Good afternoon, everyone. How's everyone here? Can I just get some reactions from some of you? Happy faces, smiley faces, full faces, maybe just finish eating. Thank you, Mr. Sundram. Good that you are doing great. Thanks, Derek. Oh, Mr. Lai, our speaker, also responded. Fantastic, Patrick. We see a Malaysia flag there as well. Malaysia boleh. Hopefully the COVID cases start slowing down. All right, so we are back to our 3 p.m. session. Most importantly, 3 p.m. is where all our negotiators come in to feel good. If you feel a little bit demotivated, here's the right place to be. The energy level here is great. I think everyone is feeling good, and most of the time we see all our fellow fighters here lah. Every day, Wednesday at 3 p.m., we see about 150 to 200 of you all here. It makes me very excited and very energetic as well. So, of course, the program is brought to you together by three of our real estate agencies, namely CBD Properties, Esprit Estate, and Propier Property. Of course, we know we have our other colleagues and friends from other agencies as well. More than welcome to join us. This is a free training platform provided for all because we are hoping that everyone in the industry uses this time to focus on upskilling yourself and learning new things and new tricks in the industry. Okay, our industry is ever evolving, it's ever moving, and if we don't move with the time, we don't move with the technology, we will be left behind. Okay, so let me just run you through a few of our house rules before I pass you to our speaker. All right, first and foremost, try your best not to Zoom bomb, meaning don't put down any of your advertisements if possible. Leave down your questions, more than welcome. Leave down your comments, more than welcome. Please do not put any promotional items that is property or non-property related. We do thank you very much for that. Secondly, if your webcam is on, fantastic. We can see your beautiful and handsome faces. Today I can see Mr. Jiva is there. Thank you very much, Mr. Jiva, and a few more of you. Your cameras are on as well. That's great. As for your mic, do try to keep it muted. I can see Mr. Rajesh Garan, Aramugam. Hello. Looking very good at home. All right. So your mic, if you want to voice out something, please do lift your hands up. We will unmute your mic. Feel free to ask the questions to the speaker. And last but not least, we don't know what you don't know. So as many questions as you have, please do list it down. Welcome, Chia. Chia is one of our best participants. Every day can see him asking questions. Thank you, Mr. Chia. Thanks for joining us. All right. So let's move to our topic of the day. All right. So today we will have someone. He has made 1 hour of his time, about one and a half hours of his time. He's the handsome young man on the left-hand side. His name is Lai To Wai. He comes from an engineering background. Note, he come from an engineering background. So his attention to detail is what caught the eye of most agencies. And his attention to detail is what makes him improve so fast. And most importantly, he never even studied lead generation or digital marketing. As I mentioned, engineer by profession, but I think what he learned in engineering, which is very process driven, he brought it into the real estate market, and he specialized in lead generation and digital marketing for primary projects. Of course, do note that digital marketing is used not only for primary, it's also used for sub-sales, whereby very experienced agents, they create their own website, they create their own Facebook page, they create their own content as well. Okay, so in a very short span of time, Lai has already moved up to become the project director at Propier Property. So without further ado, everyone, can you please give your reactions button? Please give Lai a big thumbs up. Let's show him our good energy. Please give a good warm round of applause for Mr. Lai To Wai. Mr. Lai, I can see you handsome in your shirt. Can we please test your mic?
Hello, hello.
Yeah, live, very loud and clear. All right, so without further ado, please do assist all our negotiators here. Share your knowledge. Let's upskill together. All right, thank you very much. I'll leave the floor to you, Lai.
All right, all right. Okay, give me just a second. All right. Hey everybody. Okay, first thing, thanks Kai for the words of praise. I'm just a normal person like everybody here, so just something to let everybody know. All right, digital advertising is something that all of us can learn. So I've actually broken it down into a few simple steps. I hope everybody can follow me today, lah. But also just a general inquiry, lah. How's everybody doing this FMCO? Good or not? It's the 17th day already. And for those of you staying alone, well, I mean, don't worry about it. So you can go down and buy groceries. And if you don't want to go out, you can stay here for our 3 p.m. session. Okay, so digital advertising, pretty good stuff. If you go around nowadays, you can actually take a look around, right? A lot of people are always looking down at their handphone nowadays, looking at their PC. So if you go back then, lots of advertising will involve flyers, right? A segment put out in your newspaper or even the billboards. Billboards are still popular. You can see some digital billboards being erected nowadays, replacing the old conventional ones. So advertising is something that will always happen and will continue to happen until the end of time. Because how do people put themselves out there personally and whatever is in their business? It's by advertising. Well, of course, there are a few things that you can do in current times. You can see nowadays we are all staying at home. We are all always looking at your PC, looking at your phone, right, working through technology. So a show of numbers, I cannot see everybody's hands now. So I just wanted to ask everybody in this session right now. Okay, can you give me a number one if you have actually done digital advertising before? And a number two if you have not. All right, a lot of number ones, a lot of twos, half, I think 60%, 40%. All right. Don't worry about it. For those of you who said number twos, I'm going to let all of you know now, if you have been in real estate for the past, maybe just past 3 to 4 months, I can confirm with you, you have already done some sort of digital advertising, right? So digital advertising comes in paid and free type of segments. Later, I'll go through each of them very, very carefully. But why digital advertising is so important nowadays? You can see a lot of us actually spend a lot of time in social media. This one is actually data based 2 years ago, based on 2-3 years ago kind of data. As you can see, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube dominates the market. Nowadays, not included in this data, you realize the rise of TikTok. Okay, for the Chinese counterpart, Douyin and Xiaohongshu. So all these are all starting to dominate the market. And can we leverage on all these platforms to generate and sort of like audience for our real estate business? You can, right? It's not limited to just Facebook or Instagram or YouTube. It's actually everywhere, right? Even your simple WhatsApp, your WhatsApp status, that's a form of lead generation. You can actually post your activities based in WhatsApp and people actually see, oh, this person is actually doing real estate and I'm actually interested in buying real estate. Why not I just give him a contact? See, digital advertising is just exposure on social media platforms and everything we do nowadays involves social media. And it's not very hard to set up your ads. Okay, the current misconception we have in the market is ads should be low cost per lead. I only need to figure out my targeting. The rest all falls into place. Okay, it's not as simple as just set targeting. All right, it comes down into, imagine setting up any digital advertisement is like setting up a weapon, right? So it involves 3 main steps, I would say. Okay, the first one is planning and assembling your weapon, right? You need to understand your product. If today you're not in real estate, let's say you're doing something in the F&B line, or if you're doing e-commerce, okay, everything all has their own types of digital advertisement. And I can tell you, not one of these industries should follow the same style of promoting themselves. Because in terms of e-commerce, sometimes what they want is lead conversions based on the people who go into their website and check out an item. It's different for us. For us, is what we want is to collect data. So you can see the idea of what you want from your digital advertisement differs across each industry. So planning and assembling your advertisement is actually a huge part in this. And of course, the second step will be aiming and firing our weapon. This one will be the targeting section, right? Who do you want to hit? How do you want to hit them? And of course, are you going to hit them properly? Which brings us to our third one. Because when you already fire your weapon, similar to in the firing range, if you fire a gun, you would want to see your target. Are you close to the bullseye? Are you away from it? Did you completely miss your target? You can see it's very simple if you put it down, break it down into 3 different steps. And I would say on a very surface level, everything put into basics, everybody can just adopt the very, very simple method of actually putting it out there. Okay, so the very first step is a content outlook. So for all your advertisements, you need to speak to your audience, right? Whether it's a video ad or whether it's a picture ad, people with the first glance, the first time they see your advertisement, you have to speak to them. A lot of people tends to overdo the illustrations, meaning they want to put as much data as they can on the pictures, and that ends up cluttering your advertisements. All right, later on, I'll explain to you why you shouldn't do that, because it will end up eating up more cost when you actually launch your ads. It affects your algorithm, right? So you have 2 different types of things you have to take into account when creating how your advertisement looks, right? The first one will be the creatives, how it looks like, what it's going to say in the picture. When you look at your phone, what's the first thing that's going to appear, right? So your creatives will include the headline, copy, and illustration. I'll go into this later in detail. And the copywriting. Copywriting is the text. When you see a picture, you will stop and see, oh, okay, this one actually caught my attention. Let me just see what it actually is, right? So a few samples over here. A lot of you will know this. These are all very, very popular brands. And you can see for all popular brands, some of them do not need a copy. What they need is just a headline, right? For example, Nike, just do it. The copy is just do it. But for example, if you're looking at Durex, some of their advertisements don't even have a copy. They just put a blue background over there. And it's just, Durex over here, the brand. Because it's so prominent, it's so obvious that is the brand, okay? So the headline over here, you can see, Carlsberg, the first thing you'll see on your advertisement, just blew it. This is a copy, Durex. These are all headlines. Copies are something that will keep rotating in your mind, something that actually keeps on repeating in your mind. So for example, Nike, just do it. McDonald's, I'm loving it, right? Over here, Carlsberg, one of their, I would say this is one of the better marketing campaigns I've seen recently. So as you all know, in the alcohol industry, a lot of big brands with beers, right? Carlsberg did not say they're the best. They claim that they're probably the best. This word probably is so strong that every Carlsberg truck you pass by on the road, just try to notice it next time. You see a big word there stating probably. And that is a very, very strong marketing tool. Right, now every time you think about it, beer, probably Carlsberg. Same to Durex. Durex is very famous for promoting their dad jokes over Facebook or whatever social media platform, and it will always have a banter against people who did not use their products. So they always wish the competitors happy Father's Day. Right, for those competitors who did not use our brand, happy Father's Day. I don't need a condom. Favorite dad joke, Durex. So you can see big brands also are in the industry of advertising. Skechers, this is a big banter on Nike. Banter meaning they they go and shoot the other brand. Just blew it. They're saying that Nike's quality nowadays has reduced, which is very true. Nike has a lot of sweatshops, the sweatshops. All the kids are doing Nike brand, and the news hit it big time in the media last time. It broke out everywhere. Nike were using sweatshop workers. So due to that, quality has dropped. Skechers came out with their own campaign, just blew it. We won't split on you. It's a direct hit on Nike, and it works because it's very memorable. This one is in the US, so you can see a lot of people will take this into their heart and say, Skechers just one up Nike. Good job. So you see how advertisement works. There's no such thing as a bad publicity. Remember, publicity is still a publicity. But try not to go too much into the bad publicity part. So for your creatives, remember, there are 2 main types of things. Everything you saw just now was not very clickbaity. Everything had a meaning. Everything had a very, very proper distinction of what brand and what they're trying to promote. So that's why I have broken it down even further. For creatives, you have only 2 types, especially in the real estate industry. Today's topic will hit more on the real estate, more on the primary market side, how you're going to go about it, right? You always see a lot of professional posts nowadays, a lot of clickbait posts nowadays. Professional usually involves things that they're not too vague. You know what they are trying to promote to you, right? And then there's a brand there. For example, if today a developer is promoting their product, they will always say, oh, this is my project name, this is a project name. What's their headline? They always have a headline. So if a place is nice to stay, they'll come up with their own peace, serenity in one neighborhood, something like that. It's always something that is very clearly stated and you know they're selling properties. But is this always the case for our industry? Not really. Later, I'll show you some examples as well. Okay, because for real estate agents, we can keep our professionalism to a certain level. But what's the tough part about primary marketing? Digital advertising. You cannot put the project name. Sometimes the developer will find you and say, hey, this is our project. You cannot post it like this. Please don't use our name. Don't put the logo inside. This is a difficult part for us agents. So of course, we'll be tackling that later. It's not the end of the world because you still can promote elements of the development. You just can't put the name inside only. So sidetrack from real estate. There are two types, right? Videos and your picture advertisements. So a professional advertisement will have something like this. You see, straight up, you're going to see here, I am Goreng Mengdi. You can see the elements of this. The main element of this advertisement is the crunch. So have a look.
I am Goreng Mengdi. There's nothing like it.
So you saw the headline, there's nothing like it. I am Goreng Mengdi. Crazy, the whole advertisement throughout the whole 30 seconds, I think the first 25 seconds was just people biting into a crispy fried chicken. No words needed. And you can see that has a lasting impact on everybody, because if you are hungry right now and you just saw that, you'd be, I'd like to have some I'm Goreng Mengdi later. So you can see even big brands like McDonald's, they are not somebody who say, I don't need to advertise anymore. I'm big and I still want to put my name out there. I'm Goreng Mengdi. This is another famous one and it's one of my favorite actually. Every time during Hari Raya, when I'm driving in the car, I love to listen to this advertisement over the radio.
Keenakan buah kurma dari Timur Tengah. Kelezatan buah kurma yang tiada bandingannya. Buah kurma Safia, Wasim, Safina, dan banyak lagi. Pastinya menjadi pilihan anda setiap masa. Pilihan eksklusif.
Alright, so you see, Yusof Tayo. Wow, you're not tired in the morning. You are promoting a dates and the dates brand is Yusof Tayo. It's amazing because the first time I heard it, I was like, what is Yusof Tayo? And it made me Google. It had a bit of a clickbait element if you listen to it over the radio. Even though they said kurma and everything, sometimes you miss out because not everybody listens in on the advertisement. But Yusof Tayo, it lasted throughout the years. Everybody made memes about it, but it's popular, it went viral. And this is, until today, I felt one of the better campaigns of a brand in Malaysia, Yusof Tayo. That sentence you hear every time just makes you smile, in my opinion. Okay, so moving forward to more static digital advertisement, right? So you had the video ones. Is it okay to actually give static ones? There's no issue with it. So you can see, this is another property agency. So I'm pretty sure those of you who are always looking at things, maybe you can see somebody else in the industry is putting out these ads and they are doing very, very well, by the way. So you can see, these are some examples of what I feel is not too much of a clickbait element. These two are definitely not. These two are very obvious. They're promoting their own developments. It's very clear over there. Come and buy your home, come and live here. And the developer brands are over here. For property agencies or for any property agents out there, negotiators and whatnot, unfortunately, we cannot put the developer's name. You cannot put a developer's name and the product over there. Sometimes they may call you out on it. Okay, some people actually manage to get away with it. No issue with that, but you can see there is no stated name or the project development over here. You can see if they manage to make it very professional, at the same time, it's a bit of a minor clickbait because there's nothing stated there. Zero down payment, rebate up to 142K. Wow, they put the rebate blatantly over there. This is a click magnet for all your loan officers and bankers. Which project is this? Oh, 242K. Let me slash your margin. So remember lah, minor advice, don't put the rebates into your advertisement. Okay, and also very, very well done, I would say. As you can see, first Skybar Residences, the first thing that catches your attention is, wow, this one looks very modern. Let me try and have a look at it. In Bandar Sunway, very good location. I want to see. Can see, not too much clickbait, just nice, quite professional. But I would comment on the rebates stated there. Okay, and then we move towards the clickbait. Okay, there are many, many clickbait advertisements right now. Everywhere you go, there is a clickbait advertisement. And is it wrong to put up clickbaits? It's not wrong to a certain extent, right? They still work. They have the element of clickbait. There's just a small stigma of it. People will say, hey, this one is scam my money. Is it always scamming the money? Not really. Sometimes people just put themselves out there in such a way that people can't help but just click. So they tend to send very vague messages, means it's a bit blur. They're not very direct with what they want to do. Right? Later, I'll show you some examples. It will be quite interesting, I feel. And sometimes they mislead the audience. And this is very, very normal. Especially if you're talking about self-help gurus. I would say self-help gurus sometimes tends to mislead some people. Not all self-help gurus are some. Some of them, it's just too much, I would say. They overextend themselves stating that, oh, okay, this one actually is not an advertisement for my courses. Come and join me. But actually, after you join there, they'll ask you to register for the course already, which is, I find it absurd lah. It's a bit too much if you ask me. Okay, and then obviously it's the fonts, right? So how many of you all have seen this before? Famous. This one is famous. This one has been on the internet for a very, very long time. Doctors hate him. Gym trainers hate her. Dermatologists hate her. So it's all very, very obvious. You can see, he went from 88 years old. This one is a very clickbait thing of the see the fonts. 88 years old. Go until 52 years old. What does this even mean? I'm very, very curious. Let me click on it. Clickbait. You don't even know what it means, right? Obviously, if over here says dermatologist, you know it may be something to do with the skin, okay? But not everybody will get it. Some people will think, hey, this one maybe I can actually increase my hairline again. No, don't let it recede even more. But you don't know because it's too vague. There's no direct meaning to it. And Tai Lopez, anybody knows this guy? I think you all saw before. I'm currently in my garage. There's a bookshelf behind me, chilling with my Lamborghini and Ferrari. Yeah, this guy is also very famous. He's one of the gurus back in the days, right? His ads were so spot on in terms of clickbait. I do not even know what he was actually trying to promote. But after a while, you read about him or he's trying to just be your mentor. Of course, you have to sign up for his classes, right? So you can see this guy has a major element of clickbait. What was his clickbait? His clickbait was the cars, were the cars. You can see, he shows you, he reads a lot. He's a good reader and he's rich. He has a good, nice cars. Could be rental, we all won't know. But he made it in such a way that people actually believed him. Clickbait, yes. Was it a good clickbait back in the day? Very, very well done, I would say. Right? And the most famous one, for those of us who don't know Shopee, can you imagine if you're from Ronaldo's home country and you saw Ronaldo in this ad? Wow, what is Shopee? They actually paid Ronaldo to do an advertisement for them. That is amazing. Okay, I do not know how much they paid him, but can you imagine the traction they got from this? This is an amazing example of clickbait. If today you are not in Malaysia, if you are from even, let's say, a neighboring country, you have not heard of Shopee. Maybe the word Shopee gives it away. It's an online shopping platform. But if you saw this one, Ronaldo, it's a major clickbait, you would definitely go and Google Shopee. And I would say, well done as well. He just danced there with no proper meaning to what he's actually planning to do. He's just over there promoting Shopee. And then it's a thing, done. Right? So clickbait, I will just give you some examples here. We have some examples of our clickbait and professional ads. Okay, the main idea why clickbait ads goes out is because we want to keep our costs low. Is it always effective? Well, to a certain extent, I would say. You can see over here, this was one of our very first campaign for property in Shah Alam, right? 881 ringgit. Back then, they had house keys for this property. So the repayment per month was as low as 881. How many bedrooms can you get? Up to 3 and 4 bedrooms. So we will put it something like this here, you can see. Up to 4 bedrooms. Over here, didn't have it, but we said it's as if you're renting a car. I can tell you the leads that came in, wow, they came in by groves. Like imagine all the buses from everywhere around the world, all just came and submit their inquiry here. At one point, actually the lowest at one point we got was about $4, $4.50, right? But I'll just round everything up. Best performing month was $5. And on average, because of testing and then later on it fell to about 7 ringgit. But can you justify the quality of these leads? Okay, just to let everybody know that the majority of the interest are all this. You can see the cost of your lead and how much you clickbait your clients is really correlated to the interest of your clients or your audience towards your product. See, if you mislead them too much, so cheap, so nice, their interest is always, I want to buy a 300K, 4 bedroom, 300K. Difficult, very difficult. You did not set the expectations right when you put out your ads. So we had a bit of a problem back then. Was it all problems? No lah. It's just we had more to filter, right? Because of course over 100 that came in, obviously number game wins the industry nowadays. You want more numbers, sometimes you want more numbers, you don't care about the quality. So obviously maybe out of the 100, maybe 20 could be manageable, but you did not manage the other 80% of it. So this was the majority of the interest, and this was not what we are trying to target actually. So you can see, if you put too cheap monthly repayment, you end up getting things like this. The interest is not set to the level relevant expectation of today's market. And another problem was too many words. You can see, so many words. The second one, this one, even more words. And can you imagine this caution sign? You scrolling Facebook or Instagram one day, you suddenly see somebody put something with a caution sign in your face. Wow, okay, not bad. This is not bad. We set the property price to slightly higher, so we did not get as much interest. But then again, clickbait. A lot of comments last time over here, they said, hey, this one cheat people money. Because it was too clickbaity. When something is too clickbaity, when it looks like this, not like this, this is more professional, but if something looks like this, a lot of our clients will be, here, this one, confirm agent, confirm trying to sell me some scam, but it's not a scam. It's true, it's true. This one actually, most of it is quite true. It's a 450K property. Take note, I'm sorry, this one too small, but you can see up to 4 bedrooms. This is the major clickbait that we did. Up to 4 bedrooms, 450K. The property that we're trying to sell here was a studio at 330K. Residences South, right? Obviously, people came in still asking, I want a 3-bedroom unit, 400K. At the end, we still direct them to our Shah Alam project. So you can see, expectations over here more set towards this advertisement. When your advertisements go a bit too below expectation, you tend to attract the wrong crowd. And then came our more professional, I'll say professional to a certain extent. You had your tagline, you had how much it takes to own it, 1,000 ringgit booking fee, 1,400 ringgit per month, high yield investment. Okay, this one, the people who inquired, they were more effective in such a way that people actually wanted to buy an investment property. Investment meaning studio to 2-bedroom, right? For those people who wanted to buy 3 bedrooms, we still have a backup project. We can swing them to the other project because they were looking for something around this price range. Very easy to manage. And nowadays, a lot of properties actually are within this price range, you can see. You can see, your cost per lead is not everything in an advertisement. If you want something cheap, people will usually go to Pasar Malam to buy. Pasar Malam. Right, but you still see some people going to branded stores to buy their clothes. Not everybody wants cheap things. It's very important to set your expectations straight. That's why the planning and assembly, make sure you understand your product before putting it into works, right? Make sure you know, okay, this is a medium range product. How am I going to target? Who am I targeting? What sort of price range do I want to hit? All right, oops. All right, the next part, copywriting. Copywriting, in my opinion, is actually very important and it's something that is often overlooked. A lot of people will look into the illustrations, the creatives you saw earlier on, right? Clickbait or professional, what sort of element do I want to put in it? Do I want it to be colorful? Do I want my words to be bold? Okay, copywriting is the second most important thing actually. Because when people stop to read your ads, they will want to know more info about it. Okay, what's the worst thing you can do about copywriting? We'll see in the next slide. But copywriting, rule of thumb, keep it unique. Don't be the generic ones that are not, I don't mean to actually call anyone out, but sometimes you tend to see, for example, digital advertising also is in property, guru, iProperty, that's a form of digital advertising. And what's the most common things you see in the descriptions? You will see, okay, for example, you're selling a condo, there are 39 stories, there's a swimming pool, right? There are 2 car parks or whatever. Some people will just spam all of those data, put it inside over there. So imagine you're the client today. If the client is a reader, right? They tend to read. So you speak to them through their reading process. Imagine they're just looking, oh, okay, everybody's saying the same thing. This condo, I already know already. What other extra things can you tell me? Maybe some extra feature, not about the condo, something about the condo, which is maybe nearby, there's nice things to do or whatever, right? Because if 100 agents were to spam the details of that particular condo in their copywriting, it's just going to end up very boring. But for Malaysia, not the biggest problem yet, because in Malaysia, price dictates your exposure. The cheaper your rental, people will say, hey, you have got cheap unit. Then your cheap unit always rented out already. I have another one to propose to you. Simple trick. That was in sub-sale, that's a very common practice. And of course, that's why copywriting is always overlooked in Malaysia. But if you're going into, let's say, digital advertising in Facebook or Instagram, copywriting can be quite important, right? Keep it short and brief. Depending on which platform you shoot out your advertisements, make sure the first 2 sentences or 3 sentences is what your main message is, the main message you want to deliver to your audience, right? You don't want it to be like a sentence type halfway, then suddenly ... They have to click to continue. Not fun. Then to see the first 2 sentences that catches their attention, because the picture has already made them stop to read. So remember, this is very important, and I'll show you some examples later. Okay, over here you can see, these are some of our advertisements that we have carried out before, okay? So you can see over here, why wait when we have brought you the best in Subang? This is a bit far-fetched from our side, but it worked, okay? Keep things simple. I want the first 3 sentences to be the main things with which is what my audience will see. I have also put my website here, and they'll click into it. You can see, I don't need to tell them got what. I don't even want to tell them how many car parks, got swimming pool or not. I don't need that in my copywriting. They can call me and ask me for it, and I can actually create a conversation from there. If you put everything inside your copywriting, it's going to be the same as any other ads you see. This fella has 2 swimming pools, this fella has 1 swimming pool, not the most practical, right? And as you can see, digital advertising in Malaysia still an infant, right? In US, their game has changed so much. Their cost per lead, if you tell them it's about 5 ringgit, 10 ringgit, they'll laugh at you. So cheap, so low quality. Because over there it's about $10 or more. And $10 to the US people is also a lot. And it's normal for them. $10, $15 for them cost per lead is okay. Because they know it's a competitive market. And over there, they have already evolved to the next stage of digital advertisement. This is one of the basics of what we can do nowadays. Try to keep it very brief. This is the first thing you want your clients to see. Stop at the picture, come here. Same thing over here. You can see, this is our clickbait advertisement. Take a pit stop with all the emojis over there. Not so professional in my opinion. It creates a lot of doubt. It's like, hey, this person, what kind of person is this doing the advertisement? Is he really a developer trying to sell his project or not? Okay, but yes, this one also can work because of the illustration, some of the clickbait elements and everything. Okay, similar to your iProperty Property Guru. Okay, the example I took today is for uptown residences. The normal thing that anyone can do is property details, 2207 square feet, private lift lobby, 3 bedroom, I can tell you, the first page, your illustration over there, they will show you number of bedroom, number of bathroom, how many square feet. It's all there already. Why do you need to include it in your copywriting? There's no need to. Why not switch it a bit? Nobody will read in iProperty, seldom people actually read it. They are very, very rare. But what you can do is maybe spice it up. Ever wondered what it's like living within walking distance to the famous Village Park Nasi Lemak? Wow, this condo is so near, I did not know that. So if your clients were readers, they would actually be hooked onto it. Maybe they want to go and see what Village Park is. General examples like this, right? Copywriting, don't overlook it. Spend some time in copywriting. Copywriting will bring you a long way, especially in social media advertising, social media in particular, right? And of course, I hope everything is still not too fast for you guys. We're going step by step. We finished the creative part, and you can see it's quite interesting. A lot of elements of the creative section can actually be put into play, right? All the 3 steps I initially stated, right? Your creatives, your targeting, how you want to check later on, everything. Trust me, you do not need to be a creative person to do ads. At the same time, you do not need to be a very detailed person to do the last part, because you can always work together with somebody else. I'm not a very creative person by nature, but I kind of know what I want for how my ad will look. So I'll usually work with somebody who is very creative, who can give me an idea of what it will actually look like first. Similar. So now when you come to the targeting, if you're not too keen, not too interested in the details of it, don't worry about it. This is just a surface brief, and you can at least get some info on it. Next time when you work with people, you can actually brainstorm with them. It's very fun to brainstorm targetings. So why targeting is important? It's literally similar to aiming your weapon, right? When you put something out in any social media platform, Google, Facebook, Instagram, any source, any place, platform algorithm. Okay, nowadays the platforms are all very smart. They will actually, even if you don't target it well, imagine your pool of clients is this. If you put your advertisement out here, Facebook will automatically self-learn and find out, oh, okay, this one seems to be more of a property ad, because people who are interested in properties are clicking on the ad. So it slowly determines it. But of course, these two are interrelated. When you actually personally set your targeting criteria, setting your client requirements, setting everything else regarding to who should be interested in your ad, it creates a shortcut, right? So you do not actually spend so much for testing. You can bomb your testing phase with a fixed amount of money, where you just bomb through every algorithm setting for the platform. At the same time, you have already targeted everything that you need to know. Property, people are interested in property. Keywords usually means property, right? Property is very big, and I'll show you why later. Sometimes you can actually leave out this keyword property. It's such a common keyword that it actually ends up being one of the most expensive keyword that you can ask for. Most people will, if you spend less than other people, obviously other people will take the bidding, that big cost. So we'll come to that later. Okay. And when you set your criteria, what your clients want, what your audience actually are interested in, they are more manageable. You wouldn't want to set people who are interested in shoes and then you go and promote condo to them. They'll be like, hey, what are you doing? I want to buy a pair of sneakers. Why are you promoting a condo to me? Right? So you can see all these, they are all interrelated. Your pictures will be the first thing set into motion when people see it. The back end is how you want to target your clients, right? So similar to what I was saying, imagine today you're targeting a condo that you're selling, primary market, or maybe you're promoting management to people. This is the circle of your market. Everybody is in here. You're targeting, let's say Selangor. This is the whole of Selangor, right? Everybody is mixed inside here. You don't know what they like, but you know some of them inside here, they are interested in it. And imagine that the people you're targeting today, you need to target this area here. If you do not actually set a proper targeting criteria for your advertisement in the back end, right, it will take any platform you use longer to reach this group here. They'll test here. Oh, here don't have. They'll test another place here. Then they'll test another place here. Here. It takes a very, very long time. You may end up burning more money, right? But what if you actually target the audience? You know that a small amount of people wants this specific condo. They are very, very applicable to the condo. Okay, so what you do is you just reduce your size. Targeting does that. So what you did is you significantly reduced it. So remember, if you're working in a team or working alone, when you are creating your advertisements, always take a step back. It's not just bulldozing through. Take out a piece of paper, or if you're more of a laptop person, set up what do you think who your clients are. What age are they at? Right, for investments nowadays, if you're looking at house key products, for example, house key products will appeal to more first home buyers, the younger generations. because they cannot actually come up with a very, very huge amount of cash. So they will use something like house key, zero upfront cost, low repayment per month, etc., etc. Right? If you're selling something more luxurious, are you going to be targeting people who are 25 years old? Less. You'll be targeting the upper age group. And of course, the upper age group, what sort of social media platform do they use? You see, that's another factor to put in really. Do they always use Instagram? No, most of them are on Facebook. Targeted audience. You can target more Facebook audience. You see, this is a play on how you want to hit your audiences based on your product. So remember, take a step back, have a breather. You can discuss with people around you. A lot of things to be learned from everybody around you. That's the fun part about setting up the advertisement. So how do we set up the advertisement? For those of you who have not actually set up a Facebook advertisement before, just a heads up lah. Facebook is currently tied to Instagram. So when you actually launch a Facebook advertisement, you can launch it in Instagram as well. Okay, based on your products, later I will show you some of the results we got. Instagram may actually end up getting more audiences compared to Facebook because of the age generation using the app versus and the product as well. The product may be a more younger product. Okay, so this is the front page of what everybody will usually see. If you click here, create. Okay, you come over here, just click the create. This pops up. Simple. And for marketing agency, not marketing agency, for real estate agents, just bear in mind. The rest, most of it are usually for e-commerce. You can see catalog sales, store traffic conversions in the website, checking out. Can you use it? You can. Right, if your website is set up in such a way that maybe their checkout is actually your setting an appointment with the agent, they can click over there. But Malaysians in general are lazy. We like shortcut, right? We just want data. That's the most important thing. So even when we click lead generation, you know that your client sometimes lazy to fill up details. They want the auto fill up form where you just click, yeah, my phone number and email inside already. Let's just send and wait for the reply. Sometimes they just want to see your phone number and call. So you can see lead gen messages. These two quite common for agent life. But today we'll be taking a look at lead gen, because lead gen is usually how we farm for data. We keep the numbers, we filter them according to their requirement. When a new project comes up, and a more suitable project comes up for your clients, you're going to be farming back all those previous leads. You can see how real estate agents in Malaysia always prioritize lead gen. Data is the most important thing. Okay, for messages, a small sort of disadvantage is they will contact you on Facebook and you just end up not getting a number. Sometimes you just talk, and then just ghost you. And sometimes we just don't like that. We just want the numbers. We want to continuously contact you. Okay. Okay, so when you click lead generation and submitted already, you come to your ad set section. You have already set up your campaign. Now it's down to the ad set level. Okay, ad set level, very simple. Everything here in Facebook, do not be too afraid if you are after today's session, you want to go and test it. It doesn't cost any money. You just go inside and click, click, click. Okay, what sort of leads do I want? I want lead generation, correct? Do I want automated chat? Do I want people to call me? Automated chat is you can set up a bot. Now Facebook maju already. You can set up this one. It's an option over here already. Okay, you can set up an automated chat. You can put in, I'm looking for a property. Okay, then your question will be how many bedrooms or this. You can set up the answers for them. They can just click on it and then you can come back to them. But remember, we want lead instant forms. We want their numbers. We just want to contact them sometimes. Everything has their own advantage, remember. If you're a person always in front of your social media, automated chat may be more suitable for you because you can keep your contact period when the lead comes in, right? Within half an hour, you can pick up the phone already, or even 5 minutes. You can straight away contact them, create a connection with them, and there you go, warm lead, all yours. And generally cheaper. And cost, you want people to just call you. Some clients, you can see until today, you can receive a random number calling you from your ads because they do not want to put their phone number in. They just want to call you. They don't like giving away their data. So you can see each of these have their own advantages and disadvantages. Okay, and when you come to this interface, a few things to take note is this top right section here. How many people your ads can reach? First thing. Second thing is, what page will you be using? I understand some people will have a few Facebook pages to use. When you are testing, you do not know which one is better. By all means, try all of it if you want to. All right, this one you don't need them to actually automate for you. This one you can do it yourselves. This one is sort of like the creative They will help you to extend something. Okay, for the daily budget, okay, then it comes down to the most important part. Because now we're just hitting the basics. We won't go into the technical part of it. Technical part, maybe we can have a side discussion next time. I enjoy having brainstorm sessions for this. Okay, daily budget. This one, a lot of people always say, oh, I want to keep my cost per lead low. I don't want to spend so much per day. Then you set over here. Okay, start date. You want it to start when? Do you want to have an end date for your campaign? Do you want your campaign to run for maybe 1 month only, or 2 months, or 1 week? Maybe you have a 3-week event coming up. You want it to run for 3 weeks. It's up to you. Okay, everything's all over here. This part here, the audience, this is the one that actually everybody will have some sort of difficulty. Okay, why did I say difficulty? Even some of our newer agents, when they're setting up the advertisements, they tend to, not they lah, we, even though when we first started also, we tend to be a bit lazy. We just maybe overlook it. We don't want to go into too much details about it, right? So you just end up maybe over here, the detail targeting, you put, I want people property. I'm selling a property. I'll just put that keyword property, condo. I'll just put condo there only. But what everybody fails to find out is there's a logic behind this. I'll go through it later. The first thing that you will see is the location. If you are today targeting a place in Subang or a place in Shah Alam, PJ, KL, anywhere, you do not need to put the city. You see, I have selected a place just as an example. I can set it to whatever distance I want from Subang Jaya Medical Center. And based on how big of your radius is, the potential reach will be different. Basic logic, because if you hit a larger area, obviously more people will be within the area. Okay, plain and simple. This is the first step of doing it. Second thing is, all right, the age. Remember, if your product is so luxury, extremely luxurious, if you're today handling an industrial product, an industrial project, sometimes you understand 25 to 29, they may not want to buy an industrial project. What if those are PAs? They are PAs, personal assistants, they are project managers. Maybe they want to look out for this kind of new industrial projects to buy for the company. Even if you miss out on them, there are other ways to hit them, right? Because you can see, there's no point hitting 100 people just to get 2 when you can focus on the 50 and hit 30. Save some money, manage your expectations, manage their expectations also. Similar thing, it's a similar thing across every project that you plan to sell. If you're selling something very, very luxurious, you cannot target people who are too young. If you're selling a rumah whip today, rumah Selangorku, rumah Mampu Milik, you can target younger generations, yes, because it's very, very affordable and they are the ones who want to buy it. You can see the difference. So you can see the age, make sure you understand your age demographics. Why I select this age later is because I can show you the final results. You have to test to know. If you do not test, you won't know any of this. We will actually miss out a lot. Okay, so property, most common interest for a lot of people. Do you know why? Yeah, I'm selling property. I put property. Oh wait, actually I can add in another one. I can put in condo. Let's say over here, I put in condo. Property and condo. Property and condo does not work this way. Condo by default is a property, condominium. So if your property circle is this big, condominium may be within your property circle. Your number, if you notice, for example, over here, if you set the age to this, property, take note, 300,000 people. If today you add on condo over here, right, select it, because condo is within property, you're still hitting 300,000 people. Did it improve your search? Maybe in terms of keywords, yes. But in terms of the general people you want to hit, not really, because condo is a property. And you can see why property may not be the best keyword for you. But don't worry about it. What if you actually do all this and you want to add on an additional filter? So means you already target, okay, you want to hit people with money. So people who can afford mid to high luxury goods, people who can afford luxury property. So you put in here luxury property, mid to high luxury goods. You add in all those criteria and you press this button, the narrow audience. You can see how this narrow audience work is when you click it, they have this additional option and must also match. Meaning it becomes a logic. Logic means if let's say this is the criteria you set initially, it will include this audience or this audience. Means if your circle is overlapping, your targeting will target the whole overlapping circle, the whole both circles together. Later I'll show you an example. Okay, so if today you want to have a specific criteria, meaning, yeah, you want people who buy condos. You can add here. You can remove condo from here, set property here, put condos. Means I only want to target condos. Or even over here, you can just put condos, township. Bear in mind, you can put developer's name over here also. So interesting thing to take note is your targeting can also target people who search for developers before. Okay, some developer names are inside here. Maybe you can go and try it yourself, test it out. It works. And it improves some of your results. Okay, nothing to hide. I can share everything. Developer name is one of the better ones to put inside. Property, in my opinion, you can put inside, but it doesn't really work anymore. All right. So after you have set all those, comes to your cost control. Okay, what do you want today? You want leads lah. This one you have two options. One is leads, one is lead conversion. For agent life, very easy. We are always on the easy mode of things. Okay, we always want to hit sales. But of course, before sales, we need to market it out. What do? We just want leads and this automatic placement. Okay, automatic and manual placement, very interesting. Later, I'll show you why you can opt for manual placement when you are ready. When, let's say, it's your first time launching an ad for a new property, don't go into manual, go into automatic first. Set everything on an easy mode. Think of this as I want everything in easy mode. Let Facebook do everything for me. It's not wrong. It's not the best way either. But remember, sometimes when you are not fully into marketing, sometimes your attention, you want to put more into sales. That's where you want to go to. Right? All you want is to just farm the leads. My advice, put everything into easy. Try it out first. Okay, cost control over here is if you want to set a budget for it, but remember in the beginning there, you have already set your budget for the campaign, how much you want to set. So over here, in my opinion, don't need to touch anything. And there are three types of sort of bid options. I think those of you who have done before, you may have queries on the bid options. For now, I did not include it inside here because it may be a bit too technical. People who are, maybe their first time, they haven't do before, try not to touch bid options. Bid options becomes very technical. I can draw a graph for everybody, see how it works, but it may take up too much of your first impression on digital marketing. Remove it. Everything set below, which is the default, you can leave it. Trust me, for real estate. When you go more into digital marketing, you can start to play with it. Okay. So remember, initially I was talking about your OR and the narrow audience, the N. Okay. So today, if let's say my main criteria over here, I want condominium property in this case. This will act like these circles. I have already targeted property. I add in a keyword condominium and I add in another one landed property. You can see these two are exclusive from each other, but they are within property, right? Okay, if let's say in this target over here, I add newlyweds, means people who just got married. Over here, this one over here, it ends up being my Facebook will target here. Remember? And or means I have target everything because I put all my criteria inside. I hit all of this. I may hit newlyweds who do not want properties as well. Yeah. Is it wrong? Not wrong. Some people, maybe you show them a property and they'll be like, hey, I want to buy property now. Not wrong. But to be more efficient, if let's say you want to hit newlyweds, this area, who wants properties, or maybe they want condo in specific, or landed properties, you can put it over here. Remember the narrow option, narrow audience option, you click this, come over here, put in newlyweds. So it means it automatically becomes this search option in the area. Interesting fact. And don't go too much into it, in my opinion. Try the general one first, because if it's your first time, it may be too much for you to take in. Okay, moving on. Based on everything you have set just now, very simple. You set your pictures already. Your pictures, you can play with it inside the Facebook one. I've completely skipped that one because it's a very, very play on things. You can do it however you like. But that comes into how you want to target. What's the appropriate spending? If I'm targeting these people, how much should I actually spend? Right. So there are various rules of thumbs in terms of digital advertisement spending. Okay, some people may spend more and get less. Why? Because maybe it's not so efficient on their end. Maybe they're not too comfortable with sales. When you first time came into real estate, sometimes you are not too comfortable pitching a property to people. your conversion may not be as high as other people who are in the industry for a very long time. Don't take people's rule of thumb for you spend 1K, you should get back 10K too personally. For people who are in the industry for a long time, even you spend 3K, you can actually get 100K. Sometimes 30K can translate to 10 million worth of commission also sometimes. It really depends on where you are in the real estate market, right? Follow your own pace. Don't get too overwhelmed by people. All this that I will say today is just a general rule of thumb. Even McDonald's until today, right? This is, if I'm not mistaken, 2019. In 2019, McDonald's actually spent 2% of their revenue into marketing. Very interesting fact, because people, a superstar like McDonald's, and they are the biggest real estate player in the world. McDonald's is F&B / real estate heavy, crazy heavy, but 2% of their marketing, 2% of the revenue goes into marketing. Until today, they do not feel, oh, okay, I'm really so popular, let me stop spending on marketing. They know marketing scales everybody. If you're small today, marketing can help you scale. If you're big today, marketing can help you scale even more or keep your competition alive in the market. Meaning people like other F&B services cannot overtake you because you are out there in the market and you're continuously spending on getting your exposure out there. Same thing. The mindset should be for everybody who starts their own business, especially us real estate, try to keep an open mind on spending money to earn money. Okay. Similar to our Malaysian developers, most of the time they will always end up spending about 1% or 1.5 to 2% for their own personal marketing. Big developers. Some developers will consider this and put it into their commission structure for the agent. So it means the developer will not come out any of their own spending. All advertising will be done through the agency. So that's why some projects you get higher comp because they cut down on the spending really for marketing. You can see this is a different play on things, but rule of thumb also not accurate in general, right? Similar to our agent life. I think this one is the most relatable one to us. Remember, if you're spending 1,000 is not much in terms of spending for advertisement. But if you're talking about 30,000, 30,000 is significant. 30,000 would not translate 10 times. If you spend 30K to earn 300K, not worth if you ask me. But if you spend 1K to earn 10K, I think it's quite worth, right? Remember, it scales up according to how much you spend. It's not always the rule of thumb. 10 times you must earn back 10 times. No such thing. Sometimes some people will only earn back maybe you spend 1K, you get back 3K. Some people may have that kind of problem. So I would say don't think too much about it. Step by step, improve in your various steps of your sales life, right? It may not be the digital marketing that's affecting. Maybe it's your closing pitch or anything. That's why you can work together with people. Okay, so similarly, you can see in terms of advertisement earlier, like I said, you can do free advertisement. And you can see over here, everybody, I think they are very aware of who The Rock is. This is Dwayne The Rock Johnson, the wrestler. Last time used to be a wrestler. Now it's a very, very famous actor. And he has his own brand of tequila. What has he been doing? I think earlier last year, if I'm not mistaken. Okay, somewhere around last year, he started promoting his tequila brand very, very diligently. He started posting it almost every week, every day. Almost every week, every day. He started posting, I got this tequila, It's my new brand. I started this brand with my friends. He does not need to pay for any advertisement. He has enough exposure in the market. If today you are in the real estate industry, you are a social media superstar, right? You're somebody famous in social media. Remember, you can do similar things. Free advertisement. I think an interesting thing to bring up for free advertisement is it happened to me before where I actually went to Bangsa. So I saw this Tropicana Paisley advertisement. I just took a picture and I just posted it on my social media, my Insta story. I'm not somebody who is famous in social media, but 3 people came and inquired. 2 clients and 1 co-agent. So co-agent brought 2, clients also brought another 2. Closing was actually about 3 of them. So conversion is 75%. But you can see that's a free ad. It was just something that is just random. I just posted on my social media. And people are asking, oh, okay, you're doing Metro Park, you're doing Tropicana projects. Can I maybe inquire some Tropicana projects from you? Free advertisement. Does it work? Yes. Is it effective to a certain extent? It won't be as good as paid. Okay, Kendall Jenner, if today she has her own product, she can also do the same thing, free advertisement. She can just post it, but you can see, she's a very, very she's social media driven, right? You can see even big brands like Versace and Calvin Klein are going to her. So what this is a paid ad, but you can see the capacity of one person being paid by big brands to post it on their social media. This is their capability. They are social media superstars. They can do their own products if they have it. Free advertising can be done. But today, let's say somebody like me, I cannot reach out to too many clients, right? My followers are only limited. How do I get my product out there? How do I get the other people who do not know who I am, what I'm selling? You have to go for something that is paid, right? That's why comes the spending. But before I move into the spending also, typical free advertisement in Facebook. I believe a lot of you who are doing real estate, those of you who are very familiar already, you can see in Facebook, you have property groups as well. Sometimes an owner will be there, sometimes a client will be, tenant will be inside there searching for properties. A lot of inside here, the agents are posting, the owners are posting themselves, sellers are posting. You can see it's also a free platform to advertise, but it's only so much exposure you can get. At the end of the day, anybody who follows this group can see, other people cannot see. Right, that's why you have paid advertisements, and you can see big people in the industry, when they pay for advertisements, McDonald's, developers, and real estate agents are, in summary, they are already spending this much to make a name for themselves in the market, right? And for us new agents, sometimes the capital is not too much. I remember the first time when I started my real estate journey, I end up spending like the most premium account, 7K, let's bomb. iProperty, Property Guru, famous, that one. My conversion back was a bit slow because I just started and I did not know the ins and outs of it. I wouldn't say I was an elite, but I knew exposure was quite important back then. Did I post diligently? Maybe I was a bit lazy with my posting as well. Yeah, but some people you can see they're very diligent in postings. So this is the agent life. Remember, the percentage reduces in the long run. If today you are spending more and more money, the longer you are in real estate, the more effort you put into it, your ROI will be more, definitely higher ROI. So the percentage used in terms of marketing will be lesser because your revenue will go up. Right. So for today, anybody knows any famous digital advertising platforms? The most common ones in Malaysia. I'm pretty sure all of you have been using before. For sub-sale, for primary market, some of you maybe you're doing property management, you're got use also. Okay, one quite fun one is this. Even for Airbnb users, these are part of your digital advertising platforms as well. Because why? It's online. Everything is all there. People, when they search for the property, it comes here. Okay, so can you post your room rentals here? Can you post a primary project here? Yes, you can. You can post anything here. If today you are doing an Airbnb business, you can also post it here, no issue. But of course, Airbnb, you have your own platform, more accurate. And of course, the other two giants. These two, I would say, very popular. TikTok. Okay, some people will ask, can you use TikTok to leverage in terms of advertising real estate? You can, but your age group for TikTok is not there yet. A lot of them are now still in their maybe early 20s. Early 20s, you can see early 20s now, TikTok is very, very popular, but they have not reached the age of wanting to buy a property yet. Exposure may be very good now if you are just entering TikTok. You can promote yourself as an agent. Maybe you have nice houses, you can just push it up in TikTok. To get leads from TikTok, not yet. I would say not as effective as all this yet. But 10 years down the road, I can see TikTok actually being one of the social media giants for real estate. That's why you can see a lot of agents now, they actually started TikTok. They started doing those kind of dance, in the real estate, maybe posting their project they're selling, just building a profile in TikTok. Not wrong. It takes time. You don't come into the industry, just guns are blazing. I'm popular, I'm famous. It takes time to build all this. So you can go for it. Okay. And a lot of people will always ask, hey, but I want a lower cost per lead. right? You tell me everything all very general. Okay, how do I actually go about it? Okay, very simple. A lot of people miss out on the digital health check of their campaign. Okay, this one is quite interesting because not everybody will want to do it. I myself find it quite boring sometimes because it's just a bunch of numbers on the screen. It's not very nice to look at. I prefer looking at the creative pictures, even though I'm not a very creative person. I like seeing colors. But over here, don't worry about it because it's quite nice to see also. Sometimes lah. Okay, it's always something we overlook. A lot of people who spend money on digital advertisement may miss out on this. You see, something interesting to take note is one of the campaigns that we promoted regarding a studio investment property. This is a studio investment property advertisement. You can see on desktop, meaning people who use PC, right? People use PC, people use desktop, everything. You can see your demographics are not as high as people using mobile. And you can see Instagram is a more popular social media platform for property. You reach up to 50,000 people, right? And for Facebook, not much in comparison with Instagram. Is it okay if you omit this? Maybe you don't want to miss out on certain things. You want to still include both. Not wrong. But what can you tell from this? Remember the preview I showed you how your advertisement should look, the first 3 lines, what do you want the copywriting to look like? You should always now, based on this, you should adjust it to Instagram. If your ads are more towards Instagram, meaning in Instagram, will it look nice? If it comes out as a post or if it comes out as an Insta story advertisement, all your previews should be based on Instagram. The default, when you always post an advertisement, the preview is always on Facebook desktop or Facebook mobile. No point. You can see the reach is very clear. The data is very clear as well. This is how you leverage on checking on, you must check on it. Okay, then now I want to aim Instagram already. Facebook, maybe I do not need it anymore. I want all my leads to come from Instagram only. Because you can see it is very clear, it's very clear. And it's more than double. Interesting fact. This is for our Residences South project in Subang Jaya. It's a studio. So you can see a lot of younger generations are doing. Facebook is because the age group also. Not trying to make it too obvious or saying like, oh, only old people use. No, it's not that. It's just facts. Even some of our agents, they are younger. They can tell me, I don't really use Facebook anymore. And it's very true. A lot of them, they prefer using Instagram and TikTok. So you can see, as time goes, you must be ready to evolve. If you can see, for younger generation products, if Facebook is not your main aim, go all out in Instagram, all out. Desktop, do you need to check out how your ads will look in desktop now? Not the most important thing already, you can see, because people will always be seeing your ads through mobile. Preview in mobile version. Platform, which one do you want to hit? It's up to you, right? Interesting, this one is a lot of people will tend to overlook. So another nice statistics to see, okay. Cost per lead on Facebook. This one is the most popular thing. Every social media advertising guru, they always tell you, cost per lead, I can get you 5 ringgit. I can get you 3 ringgit. 5 ringgit of what? What product are you selling? If you're selling $1 million property, don't expect your leads to come in at 5 ringgit. If you're selling a rumah whip or rumah selangorku, yes, keep your cost per lead low because it really correlates to your budget of what you're actually trying to sell. Right, today if you're going to a lower end place to buy, you get cheaper things. So it literally correlates. So same thing over here. This is from the same campaign just now. You can see this one shows you when your ads are most effective. In my case, most effective is getting most leads, not the cost. I don't care about the cost yet because I need to understand how my ad reacts first. Cost should be the final part of your settings. Okay. In the beginning, if you're getting $15 per lead, okay, just close your eyes, let it run a bit more. Is it getting the results you want? Okay, then after you start getting the results you want, meaning, okay, it's quite nice, I'm getting this on a daily basis, okay, then I will adjust it accordingly. What this tells you is, okay, over the weekend, you may want to blast up your budget because over the weekend, you can see a spike up. But let's say if it's over, for this particular advertisement, the statistics that we got was Tuesday to Thursday is the day that we should reduce spending. From Friday onwards to Monday, take note, I said Monday. blast your spending. This is for this particular campaign because I can see there's a pattern. It goes up and down throughout different times of the week. Okay, not entirely accurate. Sometimes maybe public holiday on a weekday, your leads also will go up. Man. Really depends. But this one gives you a very good general idea of how you want to adjust in the future. Okay, and age and gender. Okay, this one also quite interesting. You see, when you break it down into the age group, you will know, okay, is this true? Based on the appointments you set, is this true? Are there more younger generation coming for this? Like I said, if your product is easier to buy, people with lower income, people who just started working, the younger generation will tend to go for it. So it's related to the previous one where you see Instagram is a major component of it. See, 25 to 34 years old, 18 to 24. Do you need to target people below 24 now? You can reduce it even more. Based on the data you have collected, the beginning part of remember how your ad set is created. You can set the age. If you see, 24 years old, I don't need already. Why not I start aiming people from 25 years old? 45 years old don't need. So maybe I aim 25 to 45. You have already made it more efficient already. This is a small thing to take a look at. All right. So pretty interesting stuff. This one all I would say very, it helps in the long run. Okay. If you are not planning to sort of make your leads more efficient, don't have to bother about this. Just make it super clickbait, send it out there. Doesn't matter. Okay, gender plays a big role also. Sometimes you may want your pictures to maybe attract certain people. But then again, it's hard to really justify that because at the end, we're all human. We all like the same thing. We like cheap. Okay. Now, over here, one more additional thing that I like to add. Okay, for everybody who does a health check on their advertisement, I find it very interesting is because for the columns, not a lot of people will expand the column. One of my favorite is this CTR. I'll go to my customized column. Those of you who have done before, those of you who have not done before, don't worry. This is just extra things. Don't need to worry too much yet. Okay, CTR. Play with this. This is a click-through rate, meaning if your audience have tapped anywhere on your advertisement before. Is it accurate? Click-through rate or maybe not so. There's one more click-through rate link. Means they tap on your advertisement to go to your lead gen form. That one is quite good because it shows you how many people actually click inside and did not register. So you know, is it maybe your lead gen form is a bit too not automated. You need to automate it more. Or maybe your ads too clickbaity. People click really, this one is a property, I don't want to see. So this one helps you adjust accordingly. Right? And from over here, CTR all, I think a good rule of thumb is anything above 1% is pretty good. We have some ads where it's below 1%, meaning the click-through rate is very, very low, but the results of it is still not too bad. So it really depends. You need to really balance out everything that you saw before over here, all the way to the end. And remember, a digital health check, in my opinion, is towards the last part. Right? Don't need to worry too much about this. Worry more on the starting where you create your creatives and how you want to target the people. These two actually are the most important things if you are planning to do something just on a basic level. All this you can leave to somebody who wants to specialize in digital marketing next time. So it means if your company has somebody specializing in just pushing out properties, they are expert in it, they can go through all this. But this one takes a bit of time, and even until today, I'm not a very, very specialized person in this. I'm still learning, and these are very interesting. All these are still interesting, trust me. Okay, so what can we take from the whole very, very complicated, I'm trying to keep it on the surface, talk on digital advertising? Okay, digital advertising, I think you must really understand your market. Similar to the starting, the planning and assembly of it is what I'd say is the most important part of it. Okay, if today you do not understand your market, if you just throw out an advertisement for the sake of throwing out an advertisement, it acts like a very huge net. You don't care what you catch, you just catch the fish in it. But if you have a very specialized net where you only know you want to catch big fishes or medium-sized fishes, right? Then that's what you want. You need to understand your market. And of course, without testing, you won't know where your ads will go. You really just won't know will this work? Is this too much of cost to spend, etc., etc. Test your market. Don't be afraid to burn some money. When you burn the money in the beginning, you learn faster because it's quite painful to burn the money, but at the end you will learn, right? And there's no wrong or right ways to do it. Remember, there is only a more efficient way to do it. But if your wrong way is still getting you certain results that you want, but you do not know how to optimize it, you can work with somebody to fix it. You can go and learn more about it. But if you're not those who want to learn more, just the close the sales and you just get whatever you're having now, still okay. But remember, you can always work in a team. My advice is always work with somebody who does not like doing sales. They will actually do more of this. Personally, I enjoy doing sales, but I'll still do this because it's quite interesting to a certain extent. The ways of how you test, the ways of how you understand the market. Because when you get the recipe right, when you go into a testing phase for a new project, right, in a new location, it doesn't matter where, it becomes easier. Yep. So that's all for today, guys. Thanks for everybody's time. I hope it's a bit, it's not too technical for everybody. And I can actually get some questions right now, but you know lah, this is a really, really basic talk on digital advertisement from A to Z, right? If for those of you who wants to actually go in depth about it, you can give me a call, can drop me a text. I don't mind actually coming and brainstorming with you all because I really enjoy the sort of end part of it as well.
All right, fantastic stuff, Lai. I'm sure everybody enjoyed that. I will assist you by reading out a few of the questions. We will spend 5 to 10 minutes on the questions. All right, so quite a number of questions here. Let me scroll up to the start. Some is already answered as well. Okay, let's start from here.
Hi, Lai, Pat from Real Estate Esprit.
Okay. Okay, let's start with Pat lah from Real. There's 3 questions here, and I think it's very specific, so it will help everyone as well. So number 1, in Facebook ads, once it's done, paid and post, are we able to change targets, age, or interest?
Oh, yes. Okay, this is the interesting part about advertising. Okay, remember for Facebook advertisement, you have 3 levels. One is your overall campaign, right? And under your campaign, there will be actually ad sets where you can set your targeting. Remember the sort of targeting that we set? You can set it. And when you set it, Facebook does not need to review the entire process again because what you're changing is just the targeting segment of it. You did not change how your advertisement looks like. You did not change any words that you're trying to display to your audience. So changing targets, changing the age, changing the interest, it's all good. Go for it, try it. Or better yet, duplicate the ad set, create another ad set, change the targeting and see which one performs better.
All right, we will get back to Patricia's second question. I go on a little bit retrospective effect because we missed out a few at the start. Okay, Mr. John Lai is also asking you, is there a study on how effective FB advertisement is for commercial and industrial property?
Study, I have not gone into the study before because for most of the things that we have studied personally, we usually collect the data after we have done it. So an advice I could give is you could run a few advertisements on commercial areas. So let's say you have a commercial project to sell, run it, create your targeting system carefully, and then see whether it targets people well. Because for commercial, I would say your ROI is a bit higher. You will have to actually spend more on it. Your cost per lead cannot be compared to anything from residential cost per leads. And your targeting, remember, the age group will slightly be different as well. If you'd like to learn more, I would say go back to the basics of how it should look like. You should know, I would say, maybe your clients, who your clienteles are, right? They maybe like a certain way things are presented. Adjust your illustrations based on that. Your targeting. What are they usually looking out for? Are they looking for investment club? Are they in investment clubs? Are they big players always looking at the bank investments? These sort of small things. When you figure it out, run the ads, test it, and get back the data. Study from there. Because to go into something too specific, we may have to look for people who have done it before. In this case, commercial.
All right, fantastic stuff. All right, then there's a question from Karen, and I think because the settings of Facebook changed a little bit, so she's asking, when targeting demographic, how do you exclude a certain demographic, i.e. foreign workers, because she received a lot of spam and all that from that lah?
Okay, exclude the foreign workers. Okay, for that, it's a bit too specific. From our ads, we also receive a few of these foreign workers. I would say just manual filtering for now, because there's nothing that we can do. Their interests may be similar to some of our local interests. And that is the interest that you want to hit. Because you see, if let's say they want to buy, memang the interest will be the same with the local people. And they are within the region. So have to let them off politely. Like, oh, I'm sorry, you cannot afford, or you not eligible to buy. Sometimes not eligible to buy because the price range did not meet the local authorities' expected requirements.
Okay.
Yeah.
May I just add on a little bit on that? Would it be advisable then to put that on your advertisement, that maybe on the content or on the graphic, that this is for the local market only? Not advisable? Advisable?
Not okay. You can test it, but from a personal opinion, it may look it doesn't look nice.
Yeah.
Do you know why? Because if let's say don't say foreign workers, let's say it's an expat with money, they can afford to buy, they have a local spouse. But when you see for Malaysians only, they'll be, hey, are you targeting me in particular? Do you not want me to buy your property? Do you hate me? It ends up being something that is against them. So try to avoid all this. For the time being, have to manually filter.
All right. All right, then let's move back to Patrick. So his question number 2, there's 3 questions.
Yeah.
Some info, when I did my Facebook marketing for industrial land, my cost used to be 25 ringgit for 10 days. Specific and narrow targeting, I obtained good amount of leads. However, many text replies were unenthusiastic. I tried being friendly and polite. I tried professional and informative. I also tried enticing with free Starbucks, mostly only reply 1 to 2 texts. Do not pick up calls, a lot of ghosts. May I know where did I go wrong?
Is this more towards, just I heard there, is it industrial commercial, right? Okay, so, I don't think you did anything wrong. Sometimes it may just be the people during that point in time. Okay, even for, let's say we do any projects, right? There is a certain point in time where 100 leads, maybe only 20 are interested. And that's not a good ratio to have. In my opinion, you may want to proceed putting out your campaign for a longer period of time. Remember, the algorithm works in such a way that the longer your ads are out there, the more effective they become. So if I'm not mistaken, Kai, how long was it again just now? I think it's not more than a month, right?
10 days.
10 days, yeah. Try 10 days is usually my testing period. So I usually test my ads from 7 to 10 days. So from there, if let's say I were doing those kind of ads, I would straight away say, okay, this doesn't work. Let me tweak it and push it out. And my 10 days, usually I'm quite aggressive with testing the ads because I need it to work as fast as it can. So my advice is 10 days, take it as a test period, try to amend it. So you were saying people are not too interested. Maybe you can get back to the drawing board. Okay, why were they not interested? Because you have all the info already. Try to exclude those kind of people, maybe target a different brand of people. So for maybe company CEOs, high management people in the company, construction company, who are the people who they have the highest tendency to actually click on a commercial or industrial ad? And in Facebook, just frankly speaking, it will be a bit difficult to target these kind of properties. Usually it requires a lot of personal relationship with them. So you can go for this or try, we did not cover Google in this. You can try Google advertising, different style also that one. But remember the testing phase, 10 days, try to adjust your targeting. Try to maybe, yes, get more info.
All right. Great stuff. Yeah, because 10 days also, in my opinion, quite a short period. Patrick maybe can try a few more things as Lai suggested. Hope that answers your question. Okay, last 2 questions. When doing a Facebook ad, is there a way to untarget agents from my ad? No pun intended.
No lah. Very straightforward. agents will always have banter with other agents. So we always click on other people's ads. Same like how you all will click on other people's ads.
Yeah, it's an open market lah.
Yeah.
Can't stop
So,
that.
sorry, Kai, I just wanted to let somebody know. Okay, somebody gave me a very good tip just now about the foreign workers one. So, it's somebody I know lah. I think I met her before a few times when I was doing sub sales. Celine also advised you can write Chinese ads you can write in Chinese for interest, meaning you exclude the foreign worker lah. But if you put in Chinese, remember you will not target Satu Malaysia sort of thing. Yeah, but it works. That one really filters out foreign workers. When you put it in Chinese or your language preference is Chinese, etc., etc.
All right, not to take up too much of your time, Lai, final question of the day from Mr. Kishan Suresh. Is it advisable to change minor settings in the ads manager when the ad is already performing well? Because what I know is that when I alter the settings, the algorithm is altered and Facebook starts to target the audience all over again.
Yeah. That happens. So depending on what you change, okay, you'll have your targeted audience requirement, you have the words, the minor copywriting, you want to change the words inside there, right? Don't touch it if your ads are performing very well. What you can do is copy the campaign, make a brand new one, fresh, you know it's going to do well because it's the same thing as what you did last time. Tweak it and then run it. You can do an A/B testing and compare both campaigns also, but that one a bit more technical. If you do not want to do A/B testing, just run a separate campaign, see how it performs. So it means you have technically two different nets in the market. One net is slightly different from the other. At the end, you still capture whatever you want to target.
Yep. All right, great stuff. Okay, we are at the end of our session already. I think Lai has answered most of your questions. If there's any unattended to, please do list it down. There's still a short 1 minute. So for those of you that are here, please spend your time to give us some feedback. We really appreciate that very, very much. All right. And for all 200 of you that joined us today, of course, a few of you have left already, but for all of you that joined here today, I hope the sharing was great. I hope it was informative. I also learned a lot from Lai myself. And I think the one lesson that I can take out here that digital marketing is all about testing as well and looking at results after testing. Similar to us being negotiators, we don't learn the market in 1 month, 2 months. We actually learn it after banging a few walls. So digital marketing is the same concept. Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, we are so humbled that all of you make your time here today. It's a great sharing. And I hope you all can make your time tomorrow as well at 3 p.m. Tomorrow at 3 p.m., I will be your host and I will be your presenter, and Lai will make a short appearance as well. We will run you through a project of ours. All right, so ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for your time. Thank you so much for giving your awesome energy. We really appreciate it. We are very humbled by all of your attendance here. Ladies and gentlemen, Solidarity 2021, and we will see you tomorrow at 3 p.m. Cheers and thank you very much.